The aspiring president Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma declared with great confidence that the public should unite behind radical economic transformation. Radical economic transformation would not only be in the interest of black people, but also of white people, and whites must realize this, she said. She then went even further, stating that the time has come for black people to start doing things for themselves, and that this would be achieved through radical economic transformation. It is a strange argument, especially since radical economic transformation has nothing to do with doing things for yourself. It has the exact opposite in mind. Also, the brutal facts about radical economic transformation is exactly the opposite to what Dlamini Zuma is propagating. The truth is that radical economic transformation would hurt not only white people, but especially black people. If all the rhetoric around radical economic transformation is scrapped away, it comes down to only one thing: redistribution. The essence of the argument is that black people's property was stolen by white people, colonialists, the West, or whatever term one prefers to use, and that this property must now be reclaimed and redistributed. Jeff Radebe says the South African economy is in the hands of a few white men, and therefore radical economic transformation is necessary so that it can be in the hands of most black people, the youth, those in rural areas, and women. The underlying assumption is that white prosperity and black poverty are the result of the same phenomenon: theft by whites. Any suggestion that a white person has worked for what he has, or that a black person's poverty can be the result of his own life decisions, is immediately rejected as racism. Evidence of this can apparently be seen in the imbalance in the workplace. White unemployment stands at 7% and black unemployment at 30%. And again, any explanation for this that does not concur with the struggle logic of white privilege and entitlement is automatically racist. The solution, it is then argued, is radical economic transformation. White people's property must be taken and then redistributed so that everyone could share in the wealth. It makes sense, at least if you really believe the problem to be that simple. And this is exactly where the predicament lies. The analysis of the underlying problem is flawed. Radical economic transformation is nothing but a policy of aggressive state interventionism that begins with the violation of property rights. That is why the advocates of radical economic transformation have so much praise for the economic genius of Robert Mugabe, Hugo Chavez, and Fidel Castro, and are so hostile towards the stupidity of Adam Smith, Friedrich von Hayek, and Thomas Sowell. The fact is, however, that state control and economic growth are not compatible with each other. It is no coincidence that the ANC's favorite economies are all at the bottom of virtually every global index on economic freedom. In contrast, the ideas despised by the ANC are prevalent in the countries that are consistently rated as the wealthiest and those with the most economic freedom. Radical economic transformation will be detrimental to all those living in the country, and not just certain racial groups. Dlamini Zuma's argument that radical economic transformation will result in black people doing something for themselves is therefore terribly ironic. Radical economic transformation is a socialist policy according to which people are given stuff for free, exactly the opposite of doing something for yourself. My name is Ernst, and this is your fact sheet.